I'm doing major changes here in the fish room, and one of those changes is I'm removing all of my FreeSea filters from all of my tanks. That's right, this filter that started the channel pretty much, that I fell in love with, I'm going to be replacing with these guys. The smallest canister on the market. Stay tuned to the video to find out why. Alright guys, you see here that both of these shrimp tanks are pretty much drained out. The issue is though, major outbreak in these tanks of algae. Major algae outbreak is how I should have said that. But I've gone through and didn't do a good job, but scrubbed all the glass, did more than a 50% water change, maybe about a 60% water change on these tanks. And as you see, I am filling them back up. This one is going full RO water up here. And this one is dechlorinated tap water over here for the neocaradinas. Now, while I'm doing that, it's a good time for me to go ahead and change filtration. So back here we've got our lily pipes. We have our piping here that is going to our FreeSea canister filters. Let me slide you in back here. Boom, there you go. FreeSea canister on both tanks over here. And they're great filters, don't get me wrong. You can see I put these green valves in right there. I mean, I had this thing all set up. However, let me sneak you back in here further. I have an issue with the hoses kinking here, and that's reducing my flow. And that's because I have the filters set up right at the same height as the tank. Now, they did pretty good if they're below the tank, but all of these hoses are kinking up, and, you know, it's just kind of been a pain. Which, in all fairness, the FreeSea is designed to hang on the side of the aquarium, and it does a great job, and you don't have to worry about kinked hoses if you use it as intended. No flack on FreeSea. I have had zero issues with these since the day that I set them up. They've never stopped working. The pump is always working fine. Pressure is fine other than the kinked hoses. I'm happy with the filter. But I do watch a lot of fish YouTube, and one of the things that I've seen a couple of times that I thought was absolutely cool was these mini nano canister filters by Tru Aqua. And their website is minicompletetank.com. But the Tru Aqua mini canister filter, I've had my eye on it. And then I saw them doing a sale, and the sale was pretty darn good, almost 50% off. So I decided to pick one up. So I picked up the medium size one because they were out of the small and the large. And I didn't get the stainless steel one. I got just the PVC one. They're a little less expensive. And I went ahead and I set this up on the grow out tank. And what you will notice, and the first thing I did, is the flow is crazy on these things. I mean, this little guy here is pumping out some water. And I was like, man, this little thing's pretty cool. So I bought two more. I got another medium one here, and then I got an XL. The price of the XL is a little bit more. Screenshot on the screen right now of the current price. This pricing is current as of May 22nd, 2023. So depending on when you watch this video, you may be able to snag one of these for a deal. Here's the price again side by side for the medium versus the XL. So here's a comparison of the medium versus the XL, and you can see that there's quite a difference between the extra large and the medium. But I've been running the medium over here on the left for a couple of weeks now, and I really haven't had any complaints other than it does suck a little bit of air, and I don't know where it's coming from, but we're going to figure it out. Anyway, we're going to be building these guys and putting them on the aquariums here. So you'll get a good look at what's inside and what comes with these things. And I've already had a couple weeks experience with the medium, so we're going to try some different stuff here and mod these things out. Not really mod them, but set them up the way that I want them set up. So these FreeSea filters back here are not going to go to waste. Don't you worry. We'll get them on some other tanks in the future. All right, let's show you what's in these guys and then get them built. All right, let's go over the filters real quick, what you get and the differences between the two. So on the medium size here, you're going to get your little tray that goes in the bottom. You may be able to see where the inlet is right there, and that's going to separate the bottom And separate the bottom media there from your inlet so that you don't clog up. And on this one, it doesn't come with any media, so we're gonna add some of these ceramic beads here. So you get that. You get, of course, a little filter pad here. You get a piece of foam mat to, I guess, dampen any vibrations that you would have. You get your pump. This is a USB pump right here, but they do give you a USB to outlet. Now, I've heard if you're in Europe, they give you a European one, or whatever country you're in, I heard they give you the right one. Piping wise, you get your lily pipes. They are very small, but as you saw, they really do the job. Not quite a small enough slit here for shrimplets. Probably any other fish, nano fish, if they had fry, you would be okay. But the slots here are a little bit too big for brand new baby shrimp. So we're gonna fix that since these are going in shrimp tanks. You have, of course, your tubing, which is sized for your pipes. Inlet hose is a little bit bigger than the outlet, which creates kind of a Venturi effect and gives you that powerful flow. And then you have some clips here that hold your lily pipes in place. Okay, on the XL, pretty much the same deal, right? You get your screen for the bottom, you get your pad that's cut to fit. The only couple of differences, one of them is pretty comical, is your foam mat here. Kind of an oversight, I think. They either threw the wrong one in or just cut all of them this size. But she's a little small. You have a 300 liter per hour pump over here on the medium. You have a 400 per hour liter pump over here on the right for the XL. Obviously, the lily pipes are going to be a little bit bigger than in the small or the medium. So a little bit bigger lily pipe, bigger diameter as well. Not an issue. A little bit bigger tubing. And they're nice enough to give you a little C-Chem matrix. So bonus bag of C-Chem matrix. That was nice of them to include that. And that's your differences. Okay, here's how I set up my mini filters here. I take some of these beads and I'm going to drop them in the bottom. This is my bio media. And we take our little disc here, or grate, whatever you want to call it. Snap that down in there. Now that holds these guys so they can't turn over. Put our pre-sponge in here, what I call the pre-sponge. It's the catches all the big stuff. Although the slots in this are so small, what kind of big stuff is there really? But we'll put that guy down in there. Because the way I see it is you can just pull this filter floss out to clean your filter, right? And your sponge and your bio media down in the bottom, that's going to hold all of your beneficial bacteria and shouldn't need to be changed too much. Anyway, when you're putting these together, do remember that this has a little screen or a grate on here. And so you have to account for that depth. You can't really fill this up all the way. Now that's more important if you're filling this all the way up with, say, a bio media or something like that. I'm dropping stuff everywhere. When you have filter floss here, you should be able to screw the lid down and not really have too much of an issue, right? But some of the things that I'm going to do that I did not do in the last one, and I'm trying to see if maybe this is why I'm leaking a little air, but I'm going to put a little bit of silicone grease around this little spout for the CO2. I'm going to put a little bit on this rubber seal all the way around here. I'm sure it seals well, but it looks kind of dry. I'm also going to silicone grease around these threads here. Could be another source of air coming in, I don't know. But never hurts. Little grease never killed anybody. Well, maybe it has. I don't know. Little grease never hurt any filter, let's just say that. Now your hose, pretty simple stuff. These are push fittings. They're like little push fittings. So there's your outflow. And I'm thinking that any air intake is actually through these fittings, to be honest with you. Before I forget, the main thing I love about this and why I think for the money I paid for this on sale, the value is awesome. These are 4-stage pumps. The power level you can adjust up and down, or the flow rate. That's freaking awesome to me. That this little tiny pump, you can adjust the flow up or down 4 different degrees. And let me tell you, it does make a difference. We'll show you. All right, let's see if I can get a double shot here for you. So here's our flow, and this pump is right now on low. And I'm gonna go the next one up. It's level 2, level 3, level 4. Kind of hard to see in the flow, but if you put your finger over that nozzle, let me tell you, you'll see a difference. Or if you hold the nozzle out and just let it shoot all over the room, you'll know that the flow is much higher. You can hear it in the pump. Let me get you down here. You can listen to the pump. Maybe you can hear that. But these are going in shrimp tanks, and I had mentioned about these slots I think being too small for baby shrimp. I don't have a sponge that's small enough that fits this without sliding off, and I usually use these little screens right here that I bought, which are fantastic, but it's a little loose there. That's not going to work. So I have an idea, because I have some extras of these and I have a big one. So I'm going to do something a little drastic on the mod. You probably don't need to do this if you're just doing like a nano aquarium. So what I'm going to do is cut this up. I'm going to wrap this around here and hot glue it on the back side. I'm using hot glue because if I use super glue, it'll be permanent on here and I could warp or melt the plastic with the super glue. And then that's it. You know, it's 100%. It's that way forever. You'll never be able to just have a nice clear lily pipe again if you want, or intake pipe. Sorry. Boom. There we go. One custom screened shrimp lily pipe. We went ahead and set this one up. My finger here? Yeah. We went ahead and set this tank up, and it is on, if you can probably see. And do you hear it? Nope, that's the idea. They are completely silent when they are on its lowest setting. And that's where we're at. Now, we got to prime this one here to show you how we do this. Now, you can do multiple different ways of priming this thing. I like to use the old turkey baster here, and I go reverse prime, so I prime it actually through the inlet. And all I do is I just suck some water up, stick it on the inlet, and push it through, which is hard to do backwards on camera here. If it's not full, we're gonna know, because these are smart pumps, and if they start cavitating, sucking air, they will not continue to run. They will try a couple of times, like pulse and shut off, and then eventually they will just shut completely off. As you saw there, once I get some water in there, I just suck backwards on it, and then gravity should do the rest and kind of siphon it through. All right, so I tipped it to purge more air out of it and made an air bubble in the motor. Now you can see what it does. So it pulses a couple of times to try and see if it can purge the air out. And if it can't, it'll shut off. This is important in case you have a power failure and your nozzle is above the surface of the water. The pump will unprime itself, and so that you don't burn your pump out while you're at work and your power went out in your fish room. So you see here that it finally shut off, so you have silence now. It stopped trying to purge itself. So this is a very handy feature, which is why I like these pumps. Alright guys, there we go. We have our CO2 set up here. Anyway, we gave these guys a piece of food, so we'll leave your last tank view with the shrimp enjoying some dinner. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the Tru Aqua Nano Canister filter swap out from the FreeSeas to the Nano. I like them. We're going to run them for a little bit. We'll see which is better, the FreeSea filter or the Nano Canister filter from Tru Aqua. Again, if you want one, minicompletetank.com, right? Mini Complete Tank. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed going through these filters and kind of seeing how they're set up. I think they're pretty cool. Not sponsored in any way by these guys. I bought them all myself, but I was waiting until they were on sale because I think they're a little bit overpriced for what they are. Most of it's probably that actual pump though. That's a pretty high-tech little pump with sensors and cavitation sensors and all that. Cool little pump. All right, guys. I'm going to leave you with that note there. Once again, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know what to do if you want to support the channel. We're growing. And I'll catch you later on some more update videos when I try and get this stuff cleaned out. We'll see if these filters help to resolve my algae issue by creating that flow. Catch you then.